a lot. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Megha Talwar from Adani Airports Holdings Limited. I'm heading digital PMO for 8 airports at Adani. I'm honored to be here. Thank you, The Rising. Be the change. So I'm here to be the change, and we will be risen. I hope so. So starting with what I call is the power shift. We were saying breaking barriers, we were saying a lot of things, but why I thought we should choose the power shift? Because now is the time when the power has to be shifted. I'm not saying we're snatching it away. What I'm saying is we share it equally. So the power shift, where inclusive women leadership is going to be the future of corporate world. Well, I come from an industry, aviation, where in any way we have a lot of women, right? We are blessed, we are fortunate. However, it's the ground reality. When on ground, airlines and airports, you will have a lot of women because women have empathy naturally coming to them. So in any business where customer experience and customer service is at the heart, you will have women. But what about the corporate world? The leadership roles are supposed to be in the boardrooms, right? So let's talk about that, the power shift. Let's talk. I know we've seen we've read literatures, we've heard things, we've been hearing since yesterday, but I think the very important picture here is we will have to support each other as women. We need to hold hands and we need to straight up the stairs. So that's very important. Of course, males support us, becomes our ally, but we really need to have that bonding amongst us that we support and take along our leadership skills together. Women leaders are revolutionizing industries through inclusivity, transformative change, and redefining their leadership roles, fostering a culture of innovation and creativity. It's a fact. The unique perspectives which cultivate collaboration and advocate for equality, women leaders excel in creating environments where diverse voices are heard and valued. In my team itself, I have a mix of equity, diversity, and inclusion employees. And trust you me, I'm not saying just because I'm here, the person who you think would not be able to perform because of the specially abled is outperforming the rest of them. And I mean it. And I really mean it. He has become the top scorer and the top performer in the organization. And nobody could tell, because we don't judge the book by its cover. Women are dismantling barriers, breaking the glass ceilings, and forging a path towards a more equitable future. We need to challenge the status quo. We cannot be held back. We cannot be pulled down again and again. It's time we move up and we grow faster. I myself am an advocate and a DEI champion of my organization, and I'm here very proud to be present to becoming a DEI champion for The Rising, Be the Change. Because it's all about equity and fairness, right? There is an elephant in the room. We have known this fact for decades, but have we done anything about it? And what is the elephant in the room? Women hold only 10% of the CEO positions in Fortune 500 companies. Yes? We're talking about DEI, but that's the statistics. Data is the only oil, and this is the truth. Another fact that I want to tell you is companies with diverse leadership teams outperform competitors by 25%. And it's a study and it's a statistics that has been proven by organizations with diverse leadership. Gender leadership gaps still persist. I know we are doing a lot. There's a lot happening from country level, organizational level, startups level, everywhere. But the gaps still persist, and we need to address them. Women now hold about 29% of executive roles globally. Even after doing so much, it's 29%. And that's a very good figure. I'm very liberal here in giving this number. Trust me, it's much below this. Despite progress, women are still underrepresented compared to their male counterparts. Last but not the least, there is a pay gap. There is a salary disparity, and that's true. I'm sure many women would raise hands if I call this, right? 81 cents are given equivalent to $1 of any male counterpart, even in US right now. It's a study. We need to understand that there's this elephant in the room and overcome and fight this. These are the real challenges faced. There is an unconscious bias. I'm not saying it's a conscious, but there is an unconscious bias that we face. Yes, we have families, we have people to take care at home, and these things at the back of the mind of the leadership team when it comes to promotions trigger unconsciously, and then the leadership roles are given to somebody who's the other gender, right? And I'm not saying gender, I'm also saying about equity, inclusion of the rest. Work-life balance is a real challenge for all women. We are always pulled down, sometimes within our families itself. There are married women I know who have been pulled down by their in-laws, and I'm talking very authentic right now. They have been not given the liberty to go for their corporate jobs. They fight that, they come to the corporate job. Now they again face a bias. And now we are the people who need to support them because you don't know what's going behind. Everybody is running a battle, everybody is fighting a battle, and we need to help each other. There's also limited access to the mentorship that is there to women. Men, on the contrary, are able to mingle up, go for a chit-chat downstairs, and we all know that. And we're not able to, maybe because we don't want to, but that does not mean that we should have our limitations to accessing the mentorship and the networking that should be provided to us. And these challenges faced have actually hindered DEI percentage in organizations. We have spoken about strategies. Yes, these are a lot of theoretical strategies that we can keep writing and saying, but do we actually mean it? We have to pledge today together that we need to do all of this amongst ourselves, with male, female colleagues, all the communities together. Promote leadership roles to women. You need to trust them. And women, you need to trust yourself and take risk. If you don't trust yourself, nobody will. You're blessed if you have progressive parents and you're sent to corporates. Please take liberty and benefit and advantage of that. So first things first, we really need to promote ladies and diversity, inclusion, DEI community for the leadership roles by trusting them and also giving them a small nudge that even if they fail, it is fine. It's okay. Humans fail, right? We also need to build mentorship programs. In my organization, we are really fortunate that there are a lot of digital capability building programs that we are running. And these programs are given equally to each and every employee. And we have good DEI quotient in our organization. So these mentorship programs are very, very critical for the growth. They really uphold you. Foster a culture of belonging. What I mean here is not only hire people with DEI, you can have your JDs with gender neutral language, equity, inclusion language, but do you actually close the loop? When you hire somebody, do you actually go back to the person and understand how is the feeling, how are they feeling? Are they feeling secure in the organization, or is it just for the checklist that the hiring is done? And then the retention percentage really drops. We need to close the loop. We need to have that circle going, that the person feels very secure, safe, and equal in the organization. I will have some success stories, and I tell you what, the lady, Indra Nui, I think this is the 50th time you would be seeing and talking about her, right, since yesterday. Am I correct? Why? Because we have a handful of women leaders we can talk about. That's the elephant in the room, the first fact. Everybody is talking about the same women, right? Because we have no more examples to be taken, to be hung on. So even Indira Nuri, I'll again talk about her because I really admire her, and she advocated diversity really well in the organization. Being a colored woman, immigrant, and at the CEO role of a Fortune 500 company, and staying there with the resilience is not an easy job, and she did that. Why? She was authentic. She was true to what she wanted to do, and she advocated diversity. She had a purpose, and her team believed in her. I have another success story, Burns from Xerox. A black woman becoming a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Do you think it was easy? Would people not pull her down? Of course. If at our place we are facing criticism every day, a woman at a CEO role would definitely be criticized day in and day out, and she has to prove herself 50 times more than a male counterpart because there's competition, and she's a woman, plus a black woman. She advocated a memoir, Where You Are is Not Who You Are. Where you are is not who you are. That's the most important. I have another success story, Jacinda Ardern. The important fact that she was taken very nicely and gracefully by the whole country was because of the transformational leadership and the diplomatic acumen she brought along with her. Also, she was also applauded for the Christchurch Mosque and the COVID-19 handling very well. So her leadership was actually given a lot of applaud. We need to learn from these women, and we need to learn from ourselves, and we need to learn from each other. Now, when I say empowering the next generation, because what has gone is gone, now it's time for us to stand up and empower the next generation. The strategies will be the same. There will be same literature, same statistics. But we really need to make an effort to build an ecosystem which is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. Equal respect to each person, equal value to each person, and there have to be mentorship programs, regular pay audits for pay parity, and a culture of open dialogue and collaboration. Open dialogue is very important because, as I mentioned, close the loop. You hire people, but you have to close the loop. Come back to them, understand whether they are feeling the belongingness, whether they understand this organization belongs to them, or they're just there for the checklist to be filled. These are some of the facts which are unknown. Though we know them, but we ignore them. The first one, inclusive leadership benefits everyone. The statistics mentioned 25% ahead of the competitor companies. If we have an inclusive, diverse equity in the organization, we are better as an organization. Women leaders bring unique strengths. The strengths are empathy, customer at the center, at the heart, but not the courage, and not the risk-taking attitude. These need to be included. Organizations must take intentional steps towards equity. Not because it's the government compliance now, but this needs to be brought up if we need to grow as an organization, as a nation, as a country. Diverse streams drive innovation and creativity. Try this in your organization. Try if you have a team under you, or maybe if you're a part of a team. If you bring diverse people together, do some workshops, do some creative thinking workshops, do some design thinking workshops, and the ideas you will get, I promise you, will be much better than 5 similar kind of people working. You bring the diversity, make 5 of them sit, and the ideas will be much more. I'm sure you agree with me. You can't agree more, right? The smile tells all. You want to add something to this? Inclusive workplaces improve employee satisfaction and retention. The amount of money company pays for bringing more talent in when the retention is high, when the retention is low and the attrition is high, is much higher, then better retain your talent. The retention has to be embedded into the system, into HR policies, along with DEI. Women leaders excel in communication and relationship building. As we know, this soft corner, the empathy, this comes to us naturally. Equity initiatives lead to a better decision-making and problem-solving. Because end of the day, we are perfect. I'll be done in 2 minutes. OK, thank you. All right, sure, thank you. So equity initiatives lead to a better decision-making and problem-solving. So in the boardroom, if you have women leaders, trust me, the product or the service you're providing to the market will be more higher adopted and accepted. Why? Because the public is 50% gender. And your customers are going to be DEI, women, LGBTQ, everyone. So you need to have these diverse teams in the boardroom to understand as the end customer, be in those shoes, or somebody who has been in those shoes will be able to understand what a customer wants. Just sitting in the boardroom, having a coat on, and taking decisions would not make your product fly. Your product flies when you understand from the customer, you're wearing the shoes of the customer. And you need to bring diverse people within the boardrooms to do that. There will be better decision-making and problem-solving. Inclusive leadership enhances organizational reputation and brand. And we all know that, right? That's why we are here. The rising, be the change. Women leaders serve as role models and mentors. I have a role model, and I'm sure you all have. Those women leaders who we look at, and we want to be like her. Yes, and there has to be one. And I promise you, you will grow faster if you have a role model. Somebody who mentors you, handholds you, guides you to the right direction. Equity-focused policies create a supportive environment for all employees. It's a fact, but unknown. So today, I want you all to pledge with me. We need a pledge in this room together that we are redefining the leadership, whether we have a startup or an organization or an HR leader or a digital leader or AI leader, as we're talking about AI and agentic AI and robotics and automation and so on and so forth. Women inclusion in the next generation. That's the pledge. Women leading the future of inclusive leadership. That's the pledge we need to make. We need to trust and we need to take risk. With that, I thank everyone for being patient and listening to me. Thank you very much.